not fair! Do you know when you are in a base with a squad of your friends, fighting against another squad, and you are having good old time, and suddenly enemy flies in 5 galaxies full of enemies, and they stomp on you like teenage bullies stomp on 4th grade kids' balls, basically ruining any chance of recovery and fun. And this happens all over Araxis. There is 1 or 2 big outfits on the server that goes around capturing bases by overpopping them like crazy, ruining the fun for everyone. But then why can't they send in equal forces to see who wins by skill? Or perhaps more if needed, but not that many. I know there is no kill like Overkill, but come on, do you really have to send in this many forces all the time? After all, we are not Chinese or Russians, or at least not all of us. Alright guys, now let's talk a bit seriously. In every FPS game there is one big objective, that is to capture a certain amount of flags, or kill enough people, or perhaps capture a base. Or simply you can call this a shitfest with objective. And there's one more thing about most of the FPS games. There are usually 2 teams, and usually they are not bigger than 32 players on the map. And of course there are servers that will control the population between 2 teams, switching players from one to another in case there are too many in one of them. Planetside does not have either of those. We have 6,000 players on one server. We don't have team switching. We have factions that are permanent. And sometimes it happens to be that more people play on one faction, but most of the time populations are pretty much equal. And in Planetside 2 there is one big objective, to capture bases. Even alerts remind us of that, just like a super nagging housewife that you wish you have killed with a sledgehammer to the face. However, most of the people who come from Counter-Strike, Team Fortress or Call of Duty background always complain about equal population not being fun and ruining the game and blah 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 blah. The thing is, this game is just like a war. First of all, it's not fair. Second of all, there is no population control. There is perhaps only servers that are recommended for new players, but that's it. And unlike most of the FPS games, this is an open world. Combine all of that together and you get open world game that has objective to capture bases for your faction. And here's a question for you, complainers. If on the continent you're playing on there's equal population on all 3 factions, and one of them is getting all the land, by utilizing the strategy of overpopping the base, therefore discouraging enemy of even considering defending the base, and therefore getting all of them, and even manages to defend any types of attacks, then tell me, if they are getting all the land, all the facilities, all the alerts are won by them, then aren't they doing something correctly? And so now move off your computer, go to toilet and contemplate this question. And perhaps this time, instead of squeezing out bile, you'll squeeze out some good argument we can all talk about. However, there is one more thing I want to say. Most of the big complaining comes from the people that previously played games that had balanced teams, are expecting Planetside to be the same, but it's not.